السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن شاء الله بإذن الله هنشرح مراجعة فايف ستار للصف الثاني الإعدادي. المرة اللي فاتت عملنا فيديو مجمع على الجرامر اللي موجود على الوحدات كلها من أول يونت 1 لغاية يونت 6. النهاردة هنحل مجمع الامتحانات اللي مجمع الأسئلة اللي على الفوكابلري من أول يونت 1 لغاية يونت 6. I go to the baker's with my mother. We always buy bread in the morning. I go to the baker's with my mother daily. daily يعني يوميا. Come and sit on this. 4 people can sit on it. Come and sit on this sofa. I saw Ahmed's father on his to work his morning. I saw Ahmed's father on his way. Number D. On a day, Reem gets up, goes to school, and then helps her mother in her shop. On a typical day. يوم عادي أو يوم متكرر. حسن forget to bring any food for the picnic, but he can share our food. I live in a city, but my grandparents live in the country, in a small village. The farmer doesn't need his goats in the summer, as they can find their own food in the mountains. The farmer doesn't need to feed his goats in the summer. My uncle has in his garden, and he uses it to water his plants every evening. My uncle has a tap in his garden. A gives us light, a lamp. At night, people sometimes close the which are next to their windows. At night, people sometimes close the curtains. We wash our face in the basin. We put our clothes in wardrobe. A has drawers where you can put our clothes. Chest of drawers. You can see yourself in a mirror. People put on the floor. People put carpets. Many people in the city live in a block of flats. My little brother is he always wants to stay at home and watch TV. Very lazy. كسول. We need a computer engineer to our computer because it doesn't work. We need a computer engineer to repair. Shadi is a deaf, but he understands because we use sign language. It's usually easy with people. We usually easy to communicate with people in other countries if you speak English. Saturday I usually. What time do you your homework after school? What time do you do your homework after school? You can catch a plane from an airport. When you invite a person to your house, they are your guests. When you go on holiday, you can put your clothes in a suitcase. When two people get married, they have have a wedding. The skin of a zebra is striped يعني مخطط وspotted منقط. If you are tired, why don't you rest? Why didn't you have a rest? A or an prepares food for people to eat. Street food seller. The person who helps to keep people safe in the streets is called a police officer. Speaks to people on the phone. He or she helps them with their problems. Call center worker. The person who helps in a place which sells things is called shop worker. You call a or an if there is a problem with your computer system. Computer engineer. Your father can. The car on this road, it's very quiet. Your father can park. Fatma is so she can't hear you. Fatma is deaf. Don't sit on the, it's dirty. Don't sit on the ground. Please sure that you write your email carefully. Please make sure the nurse works on the for children on the ward for children. This is a photo of my parents' wedding. A teaches people how to play or improve sports. Sports coach. A know how to look inside the body to help people who are ill. A surgeon. The mountain was very high. We all felt at the top because we thought we might fall. We felt scared. Does experiment to study and find out about how things work. A scientists. Scientists do experiments to study and find out about how things work. A helps people or animals that need help. A charity worker. A helps people who are poor, sick, or don't have a home. A charity. The is the area outside a city where there are farms and lot of nature. Countryside. A terrible event such an earthquake is a natural disaster. A is someone who works for no money to help people. A volunteer متطوع. If you are of someone you feel pleased with them, this is because you think they are or have done something very good. If you are proud of someone, proud يعني فخور. An is something serious or dangerous that you need to do something about. An emergency. This football has no air inside it. I need air to fill it. I need to pump to fill it. Adam fell off his bike and has a big on his arm. Has a big heart. Adam fell off his bike and has a big cut on his arm. Lena's cousin is in hospital with an eye infection. You should those tomato plants in the garden. You should plant dirty water from a river. Can you, if you drink it, can you infect you? The meat into small pieces before you cook it. Cut the meat. My grandmother was born in 1955 and my was born in 1930. My great-grandmother. When you are older, do you want to live in the city or the countryside? You can only open this door in such as a fire. Door in an emergency. The earthquake was the second in the city this year. In the second natural disaster كارثة طبيعية. I always give money to a charity that helps poor children. Warda is a good at math and she good at English too. I bought book yesterday. I bought 2 books yesterday. Athens is a great city and the Parsons is most famous building is its most famous building. Athens is a great city and the person is its most famous building. You can watch a sport match in a stadium. A can be an entrance to another place. Arch. We usually pray at mosque. A usually has very strong walls. Castle. You can see in a museum. You can see statue. تمثال. Are not a complete building. ruins are not a complete building. There are more than 2,000 in the museum objects. This chemical helps to keep mosquito to keep away. The black and white around this window are beautiful. The black and white painting around this window are beautiful. Those bowls are made of clay. Bees and ants are important insects. Ali's uncle works for a big oil company in the United Arab Emirates. I love going to places such as museum and ancient ruins. I love going to historic places. Don't play football here or you might damage that car. It will rain tomorrow, but I am not sure. Maybe it will rain tomorrow, but I am not sure. I help to look after my little sister when my parents are busy. My clothes were clean and dry, so I put them all. My clothes were clean and dry, so I put them all away. They gave the football a test to check his health. They gave the footballer a random test يعني اختبار عشوائي. We all remember my grandfather's. He always helped us when we were children. We all remember my grandfather kindness. This book is, you should read it. This book is fantastic. You should read it. Adam knew everyone in the village, so he was surprised when into his shop. Adam knew everyone in the village, so he was surprised when a stranger, the woman, took out her and paid for the new phone, took out her purse. A has to fight fires in his job, firefighter. A has to work on a plane or at the airport, a pilot. If you want to go diving, you have to go to the sea. Have to work in the sea, sailors, البحار. Catch fish, fishermen. Please take our home, don't leave it in the park. Take your rubbish. It was raining for days and then there was a flood, so people used boats to leave their houses. There are a lot of cars in the city, so that is very bad. The pollution is very bad. There was no rain for 4 months this winter, so now there is a drought. Not many fish live in the river because it's very polluted. We should use more energy from the sun and the wind, more green energy. Which of these is not an example of wildlife? Dolphin. Which of these is not an example of tourism? Going on boat trips, going scuba diving, visiting temples, learning masses. Which of these can you not usually put in a recycle bin? Water. Visit the Red Sea from around the world. Tourists. The Egyptians opened the Suez Canal. Is very important to Egypt. Tourism. السياحة. You should clean the river because it's very polluted. Most young people worry about change weather change. How often do you dinner? How often do you make dinner? When I am tired, I like to relax in my armchair. I love my house. It has an garden, an awesome garden. The weather was so we couldn't travel to Alexandria. The weather was terrible. Mahir is deaf, but he understands us because he uses sign language. I am to hear that you are ill. I hope you get better soon. I am sorry to hear that you are ill. I am sorry about your brother's accident. I hope he will better soon. He will get better soon. He his hand and said goodbye. He moved. The teacher all his student kindly treats. بيعامل. It's important to show when your friends are sad or happy. To show empathy. empathy يعني تعاطف. My teacher is very. He never gets nervous. My teacher is very patient. On school days, we usually look forward to a nice summer holiday. On Sundays, we usually look forward to having a nice summer holiday. بعد look forward to ده expression بيجي بعديه verb فيه ing. ولكم forward to بمعنى أتطلع إلى. Students usually experiments in the school laboratory. The students usually make experiments. This tire has no air inside it. I need air to fill it. I need to a pump. كده كتاب المراجعة النهائية على الفوكابلري من أول يونت 1 لغاية يونت 6. وكده يبقى حلينا الفوكابلري اللي على اليونتس، وحلينا الجرامر الفيديو اللي فات اللي على اليونتس من أول 1 لغاية 6. وإن شاء الله بإذن الله هنكمل بقية شرح مراجعة اللي موجودة في 5 ستارز. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مس نرمين سمير.